गंधार्विक गिरिधारी शिशि राधा विनोर बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रश्वत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रश्वत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रश्वत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रश्वत शिशिमार श्रील भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अच्युत रश्वत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अच्युत रश्वत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। स्वापार्षद श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री रूपानुगुरी जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्रील गोरक्षर बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्ट श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगुरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नामचय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। The 120th Vyas Puja Festival of Srila Bhakti Pramod Purī Goswami Maharaj ki jai, which is tomorrow. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams everybody here. Rukmini Didi, Satya Mātājī. And let's see who's on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, Rukmini's there on Facebook also. I mean on YouTube. And say Shri Mātājī. And I see there are 6 people watching. If you don't mind leaving a comment, then I can see who you are. Otherwise, you're just a number. But all right, so we are continuing on with this beautiful, beautiful book, A Life of Devotion, written by Devamayī Mātājī, the mother of Rukmini Didi and Rukmanjari Didi. Did I say 120th? It's 125th. Sorry, the 125th Vyas Puja. Yes. All right, so I'm not going to do any kirtan or anything because there's a lot to read, and so I just want to take all this time to read. And I was just looking. I didn't read all of it, but I was just looking through some of what we're going to read today, and it is so good. I'm just thinking of reading this whole book. I don't know. I'll see what everybody decides. Maybe we can make a poll if we want to start Chaitanya Bhagavat or if we just want to finish reading this book. Yeah, because it's so nice. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Let's see. Okay. So. Oh, actually, before we start, let's do the pranam mantra for Srila Bhakti Pramod Purī Goswami Maharaj again. So let's see. I'm just gonna find it. 1 second. Where is it? It's at the beginning. Is it before the table of contents or after? There it is. Yeah, it's before. Okay. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prishtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Pramodaya Purī Gosvāmin Namine Divya Jnana Pradatre Cha Prabhave Janma Janmani Jnana Vairagya Dehaya Shastra Siddhanta Samvide Patitanam Samudhare Yativesha Dharaya Vai Pracharachara Karyecha Ya Guru Kaya Sarvada Yatodhavasya Kumarad Bhagavat Archane Rati Vaishnavanam Sarvakritye Dakshata Paramatata. I worship with deep adoration my gracious beloved divine master, Srimad Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja Vishnupad, the most dear associate of his lordship, Sri Gaurasundar. I humbly offer my prostrated obeisances unto the lotus feet of him who perpetually illuminates this dark world with the radiance of transcendental knowledge, who is the dearly beloved sovereign of my life, birth after birth, who is the veritable embodiment of sacred knowledge and renunciation, and the personification of all scriptural testimony. I offer obeisance to him who has adorned himself in the august robes of a mendicant to kindly redeem the fallen souls. Unto he who is forever vigilant in both the practice and preaching of the Bhagavad Dharma, I offer obeisance to him in whom was manifest from childhood the divine loving attachment to the holy service of Lord Sri Krishna, just as was found in Sri Uddhav, and who thus possesses a wonderful proficiency in all devotional rites of the Vaishnavas. Jai Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Okay. Now let's find where we left off. Chapter 2. So yesterday we read all about his childhood, all the way up till the point where he first met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We also read about him meeting Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and so many. Okay, here. Let's just to recap what we read yesterday, I'm just going to read the section where he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for the first time. So, the first darshan of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so we heard that when with Pramoda Bhushan's, that's Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Goswami Maharaj's name as in his youth, so he said that his brother unexpectedly passed away, and so he said, sing. I'm just reading this last part here. So when Pramoda Bhushan got the news, he didn't actually hear that his brother had passed away. His father said that his mother is sick, but then as he reached the front door of his house, his mother came out wailing, "Oh Binu, come and see, your big brother has come." Then she fell on the front porch. Sri Pramoda Bhushan immediately realized what had happened. In his own words, he has described that moment. He said, "Seeing my mother like this, I also fell on the ground. The fruit fell from my hands. It is hard for me to describe how I felt at that instant, but then and there I resolved that I would never get married and have a family of my own. Even though I was grief-stricken at that time, later I realized this experience had helped me in my spiritual life. So in a way, my brother was also my Vartma Pradarshak Guru." Sri Pramoda Bhushan's pain was very deep. He was inconsolable. Everyone at school and in the village of Shashan, they felt great pain on hearing the news of Sri Vinod Bihari's death. That's his younger brother. On the day Sri Vinod Bihari would have been promoted to the next grade, Sri Pramoda Bhushan, who was overwhelmed with grief, accepted a silver medal and some books from the headmaster on his brother's behalf. He later said of this moment, "The thunderbolt of pain broke my heart, and the torrents of tears blocked out all light from my eyes. From this point, my life changed completely." First darshan of Srila Prabhupada. After this, Sri Pramod Bhushan concentrated on his studies as well as his devotional practices. In 1915, Sri Pramod Bhushan heard from Srila Bhakti Ratna Thakur that Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Srila Prabhupada's guru, was about to manifest his disappearance Leela. So he set out for Navadvip to have Babaji Mahārāja's darshan. Unfortunately, when he arrived there, he found out that Babaji Mahārāja had disappeared the day before. Babaji Mahārāja's servitor said to Sri Pramod Bhushan, "Everything is empty now." That night, Sri Pramod Bhushan stayed there. Babaji Mahārāja's servitor gave him some chipped rice to eat. The next day, Sri Pramod Bhushan went to Mayapur to have his first darshan of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. When Sri Pramod, imagine how deeply in separation Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would be at that time when he first had his darshan, just the 2 days after Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Mahārāja's disappearance. Then when Sri Pramod Bhushan had heard about Srila Prabhupada from Srila Bhakti Ratna Thakur, he had felt great attraction for him and thought of him as his future Gurudev. In those days, Srila Prabhupada was wearing the garb of a brahmachari. There was a red house in Yogapit called Lal Kuti Red House, founded by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, where the deities of Sri Gauranga and Srimati Vishnupriya were being worshipped. Srila Prabhupada was residing in that house. Sri Pramod Bhushan went inside, saw him, and offered his obeisances. Behind the Lal Kuti was a bale fruit tree. He sat under that tree and received some prasad from the hand of Srila Prabhupada's Matri Devi, his mother, before he left. It's Bhagavati Devi, right? Yes. Srila Prabhupada was performing great austerity in his Bhajan Kutir in Mayapur. Thinking of his future goal of spreading Mahaprabhu's mission to the general public, he was observing his Shatakoti Nam Yagya Vrat, chanting regularly millions of names with great determination. I think he was going to reach 100 million names, if I'm correct. He was trying to chant 100 million names. So, during this time, Sri Pramod Bhushan went to have Srila Prabhupada's darshan 3 or 4 times, and with a heart overwhelmed by Srila Prabhupada's amazing personality, he used to meditate on his glories. Then Pramod Bhushan, he graduated high school and enrolled in college, Bangapasi College. And every day he took the train to go to college. He had to walk and anyways, now 2 years later, Sri Pramod Bhushan graduated from Bangapasi College, but he did not feel inspired to pursue his educational career any further. Another kind of hankering in his heart made him restless. He wanted to pursue the path of devotion to which he had been introduced by Srila Bhakti Ratna Thakur. At the same time, he knew he had to earn a living to help his father maintain the family. So keeping his goal in his heart, externally he started looking for a job. And now we come to chapter 2. That's where we left off yesterday. And now we come to chapter 2, Surrender at the Lotus Feet of Sri Guru. Oh, and Haribo Krishna Mai Didi and Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarini Mātājī. Hare Krishna. Let's check back on YouTube. Raseshwari Mātājī, Haribo, and Mani Manjari Didi. Haribo, Vidyalala Sadidi. Oh, and Shripad Sajan Maharaj, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Haribo, and Ganga Mātājī. And I see there's a bunch of other people. There's 10 people watching on YouTube and Facebook. So pranams to all of you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Where are we? Surrender at the Lotus Feet of Sri Guru, Chapter 2. 1 second. Before I start, I have something in my throat. So Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami, he said, The more I felt attachment for Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, the more I felt detached from my family life. My heart became so restless to join Srila Prabhupada's movement that I found some excuse to send my mother and sister back to the village so that I could come and live at the Mat. The year 1920 was a time of great transition in Sri Pramod Bhushan's life. It was time for him to leave his village, both Shasan and Ganganandapur, and go live in the big city of Kolkata. We read about how beautiful and simple his village life was, and now he's in the big city of Kolkata. It was a big change of pace from the peace and quiet of the wide green fields to the noise and crowds of the city. But Sri Pramod Bhushan had no problem making this transition. He had already been commuting to Kolkata for 2.5 years while attending Bangbasi College. It was not the city itself which held any attraction for him, but rather his newfound relationship with the great Vaishnav saint, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So in his heart, he was looking forward to going to Kolkata. The Chatterjees of Shasan had a house on that was Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj's he was in the Chatterjee family, right? So the Chatterjees of Shasan had a house on Molanga Lane in Bau Bazar, Kolkata. Oh, no, sorry, I was wrong. The Chatterjees. Sorry. So he rented a room there. As he was looking for a job, he continued going to see Srila Prabhupada. What was his father's name though? His father, he was a Chakravarti. That's what it is. I got mixed up. Yeah, okay, Chakravarti. Cool. Thanks for coming. Okay, Darshan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Oh, he already had Darshan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so this must be second Darshan. So while Sri Pramod Bhushan was studying in Bangabasi College, he used to go to Bhakti Bhavan, the house of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on Maniktala Road, to see Srila Prabhupada. I attempted to go there twice to Bhakti Bhavan. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's descendants still live there, and they aren't very friendly. Both times I went there, they were not friendly at all. They kind of like chastised us and said, "Do you have any appointment? Why are you coming here? There's nothing to see here. Get out." And like they're really, yeah. But yeah, I still got to see the outside and go up the stairs to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's room, and I could kind of peek in from behind them. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to stay in this house, and many important events connected with the history of modern Gaudiya Vaishnavism took place there. The only photograph ever taken of Srila Jagannath Das Babaji was taken in this house by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Wow, very interesting. When Sri Pramod Bhushan visited there, Srila Prabhupada would talk to him about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had passed away in 1914, but Sri Pramod Bhushan had seen him in the house of Srila Bhakti Ratna Thakur, and had also had an opportunity to see him once in his house in Kolkata for a few moments. Before this visit, he had read his books and magazines as well, which were a great source of inspiration in his spiritual life. Okay, founding of Sri Bhaktivinoda Asana. In November 1918, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, with the help of his disciple Sri Kunja Bihari Vidyabhushan, later Srila Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Maharaj, founded a new mat in Kolkata at number 1 Ulta Dingi Junction Road, now Gori Bari Lane, and he named it Sri Bhaktivinoda Asana. And this temple recently was acquired by ISKCON, and they renovated it. It's so beautiful. They did a first-class job. They actually took all the bricks out, washed the bricks, and placed them back so that it would be all the original bricks that were used. And I think it was all done under Radhanath Swami. But It is so beautiful. And one thing that's really cool is that it's near our mat. And I recently stayed in Kolkata a couple times actually. I stayed for one time for like a month, one time for a couple weeks. And so I was going there quite often. It's like a 15-minute walk. But yeah, if anybody goes to Kolkata, I highly recommend they go visit the Bhaktivinoda Asan. So it was called, and this is where it all started, the whole preaching mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it was called from 1918 to 1920, Bhaktivinoda Asan. It was a 2-story building rented for 50 rupees a month. The temple room and Srila Prabhupada's room were upstairs, and 3 or 4 devotees, including Srila Kunja Vihari, lived downstairs. You can see their rooms downstairs there even today. Sri Pramod Bhushan started going there and listening to Srila Prabhupada's Hari Katha. From the very beginning, Sri Pramod Bhushan realized that he had come in contact with a great personality, and in his heart he knew that this saint was his spiritual master. Founding of Gaudiya Math. In 1920, shortly after coming to Kolkata, Sri Pramod Bhushan found a job with the Port Commission of Kolkata. At that time, he moved to another house on Akhil Mistri Lane in Bow Bazaar. Some of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, such as Sri Kirtanananda Brahmachari and others, used to go and see him there. When the weekly Gaudiya was founded, the magazine, they enrolled him as a subscriber. In that same year, Srila Prabhupada founded the Gaudiya Math. A memorable incident occurred on the day that the Gaudiya Math was chartered. Srila Prabhupada was walking towards the Math with Shripad Kunja Bihari and a few other devotees. And shortly after he crossed the intersection of Cornwallis Street, now Bidhan Sarani off College Street, and Beedon Street, now Abhedananda Road. So soon after he crossed the street, a truck crashed into the how do you say it, portico? Yeah, a truck crashed into the portico of a rundown house, causing it to collapse within a few inches of Srila Prabhupada. My God, if he had taken another step, he would have been crushed. All the devotees were stunned, speechless. The only thoughts that crossed their minds was how fortunate they were that Srila Prabhupada was still alive. But Srila Prabhupada himself was completely unshaken. He said with great enthusiasm, "This is the special characteristic of the Gaudiya Math. It will save us from imminent danger." That's really, I've never heard that story before. That's really cool. Prabhupada's concept of Daivi Varnashram. 1 second, just checking the comments again. Haribo Sudevi Didi and Kuruna Didi. And all the other devotees watching us. Oh, like yesterday, there's 15 people here. Cool. Okay. Prabhupada's concept of Daivi Varnashram. Sri Pramod Bhushan continued to go to the Gaudiya Math and was enthused by Srila Prabhupada's Hari Katha and his charismatic and divine personality. Everything else seemed unimportant in his life. His father noticed this and became concerned. Sri Pramod Bhushan would talk about what he had heard in the Gaudiya Math. Thus his father heard, among other things, that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, following in the footsteps of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, did not accept the contemporary degenerated caste system of India. In this system, a Brahmin son automatically became a Brahmana, regardless of his personal qualities. This made the caste system practically meaningless. However, even if the caste system could be brought back to its original condition, of which there is no hope, a Vaishnav, being on the platform of pure devotion, would still be higher than a Brahmana, regardless of which caste he was born into. This was completely unacceptable to orthodox Brahmanas like Chakravarti Moshai, that's Pramod Bhushan's father. And he had no qualms about telling Sri Pramod Bhushan so. Sri Pramod Bhushan fiercely defended Srila Prabhupada's position based on the scriptures. But Chakravarti Moshai's feelings were hurt, and he thought these arguments were very offensive. Seeing that his father's feelings had been hurt, Sri Pramod Bhushan kept quiet, but not before he had made his point. Conflict in the family. Chakravarti Moshai began to feel that he was losing the intimate relationship he had with his son, that there was some distance between them. He thought of ways of bridging this gap. He could see that Sri Pramod Bhushan was on a deep spiritual quest, and only the path of Vaishnavism, or unconditional pure devotion to the Supreme Lord, could quench his spiritual thirst. Listening to Sri Pramod Bhushan, he felt the inadequacy of his own line of demigod worship with the goal of material happiness. He was willing to accept Vaishnavism, but not the high standard of exclusive devotion and uncompromising purity set by Srila Prabhupada. Eventually, Chakravarti Moshai found a guru called Kantiya Baba, who belonged to another Vaishnav sect, the Nimbarka Sampradaya. Their concepts were not as analytical and uncompromising, and they did not interfere with the prevailing caste system. First, Chakravarti Moshai took initiation from Kantiya Baba, and then the rest of the family followed suit. But instead of pleasing Sri Pramod Bhushan, this saddened him. He thought, what a golden opportunity my family had to take initiation from Srila Prabhupada. Instead, they went somewhere else. Firm rejection of marriage. Shortly afterwards, Chakravarti Moshai thought of getting Sri Pramod Bhushan married. He found a suitable girl for his son, and then presented the idea of marriage to him. Sri Pramod Bhushan firmly refused. His father said, "You are my eldest son, and I have already lost another son. How can you say to me that you will not marry?" Sri Pramod Bhushan replied, "Father, you may have forgotten. I promised myself a long time ago that I would not marry." Then Chakravarti Moshai asked his wife to approach their son. Sri Pramod Bhushan told her, "Mother, why do you want me to get married and have a family? You got married and had a family, and I saw all my life how you cried. You lost your children and your grandchildren, and you have gone through so much grief. I have seen you shedding so many tears, and yet you want me to go through the same thing." His mother was very intelligent, and she immediately realized that Sri Pramod Bhushan had a point. She said, "My son, you are right. I will not ask you to marry. My only desire is that I will see you from time to time. I have only one request to you. Please come and see me before I die." Thus ended the prospect of marriage in Sri Pramod Bhushan's life. Navanurag. Sri Pramod Bhushan worked for the Kolkata Port Commission only to earn a living. He only worked there to earn a living. His heart and soul were always with the Gaudiya Math. Every day, shortly after coming back from work, he would leave for the Gaudiya Math. He was still living in Akhil Mistry Lane, and he had brought his mother to live with him. On the ground floor of that house was a room where coal was stored. Naturally, the place was dark and black. Sri Pramod Bhushan used to keep his shoes there. One day after work, as he was about to leave for the Gaudiya Math, he put on his shoes and was bitten by a scorpion which was hiding in one of them. Immediately he started bleeding, and the blood was black. His mother started crying because someone else had died 2 days before from a scorpion bite. To calm his mother, Sri Pramod Bhushan kept saying, "I'm okay, do not cry, it's not hurting that much." Actually, it was hurting a lot. Sri Pramod Bhushan just tolerated the pain silently with a calm face. As soon as his mother had taken care of the wound, Sri Pramod Bhushan hired a cab, a horse-drawn coach, to go to the Gaudiya Math. The intense pain and burning sensation didn't keep him from going there. The thoughts that crossed his mind was, if I have to die of a scorpion bite, I want to die at the Gaudiya Math while listening to Srila Prabhupada. Later in his life, referring to this incident, he said he had to go because he was going through Nav Anurag, the first stage of love. Nava means new and Anurag means love, so new love, the first stage of love. One can interpret Nav Anurag as a stage when one is getting to know the object of love and wants to spend every available minute with one's love. Since the relationship has not yet been firmly founded, there is also an element of insecurity. So every separation is unbearable, and the desire to establish the relationship is very intense. After Sri Pramod Bhushan came back to the Gaudiya Math that night, the pain still persisted, but the next day it subsided. Lost horoscope found. Oh, Hari Bol, Manjari Didi. No worries. Lost horoscope found. One day, Chakravarti Mosai found the horoscope of Sri Vinod Bihari, which he had not looked at before. He was surprised to see that the horoscope stated that there was a chance of death at one point, and that was exactly when he had died. He became worried and started looking for Sri Pramod Bhushan's horoscope. When he found it, he saw that there was also a chance that Sri Pramod Bhushan would soon die prematurely. He became very fearful and went to see his very learned brother-in-law, Sri Kalipada Rai, who also knew astrology. Sri Kalipada Rai agreed with Chakravarti Mosai's calculations. Together they went to see a famous astrologer who also agreed with their previous calculations and forecast many other events. One of his predictions was that shortly Sri Pramod Bhushan would be initiated by a great guru. 8 months later, Sri Pramod Bhushan was initiated by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. A spiritual revolution in Bengal. Srila Prabhupada's movement had gained great momentum immediately after he charted the Gaudiya Math. Srila Prabhupada wanted to start a great mission which would propagate Sriman Mahaprabhu's teachings in their purest form. He wanted to preach that the goal of life is to love and serve Krishna, and the only way for the fallen souls of Kali Yuga to be delivered is through chanting the holy name and rendering unconditional devotional service. He wanted to preach his concept of pure devotion to all classes of people, the educated and the uneducated, the rich and the poor, the orthodox brahmanas and the young people influenced by Western ideas. He wanted hundreds of people to come to his lectures and thousands of people to read the books and magazines published by the Gaudiya Math. In short, he wanted to start a spiritual revolution, a seemingly ambitious goal for someone who had a handful of men to help him and hardly any money to spend. But the Gaudiya Math was growing at an amazing speed. People from all walks of life, and most of them were highly educated. People came from all walks of life, and most of them were highly educated. Many people came to join his mission with many different talents and skills to contribute: scholars, writers, editors, administrators, doctors, engineers, lawyers. Srila Prabhupada's unique personality and his powerful speeches touched many people's hearts and changed their lives forever. A spiritual revolution was indeed taking place in Bengal. Initiation. Sri Pramod Bhushan watched all this and could not wait any longer to become a part of it. He sent his mother back home so she would be free to join the Gaudiya. He sent his mother back home so he would be free to join the Gaudiya Math. In 1923, he requested that Srila Prabhupada give him initiation. Srila Prabhupada immediately said, "What day do you want to come?" Sri Pramod Bhushan replied, "The next auspicious day is Janmashtami." Srila Prabhupada said with a smile, "Then get shaved on that day and come and see me." So, on Janmashtami day of 1923, Srila Prabhupada initiated Sri Pramod Bhushan in his own room at number 1 Ulta Dingi Junction Road. His name had been Sri Pramod Bhushan, meaning one who rejoices at entertainment, such as music. His parents thought it was a fitting name for him since he loved music from childhood. Srila Prabhupada said, "Material entertainment cannot give you joy. From now on, your name will be Pranavananda Brahmachari, one who rejoices in the holy sound." Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was extremely happy to receive his new name. He started living at the Gaudiya Math. Service and Hari Katha. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was very enthusiastic to serve his Gurudev and worked very hard day and night to help the mission. He still kept his job at the Port Commission so he could contribute money to the Math. He tried to do as much service as he could in the morning. And most days he would be late for work. But nobody at work minded. They all liked him very much because of his friendly nature and hard-working attitude. He started giving Harikatha at the Gaudiya Math in the evenings. Srila Prabhupada was doing many things all at the same time, and it was not possible for him to give Harikatha every day. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu humbly suggested that there should be Harikatha every day given by different devotees, and Srila Prabhupada happily agreed. Slowly, many others started coming, and some of them would become Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's lifelong associates. An extraordinary guest at the Math. One of them was an educated gentleman called Sri Ramendra Chandra Bhattacharya. Can anybody guess who this is? This is a very special personality. We'll find out. He would come every day and listen to Harikatha very intensely, whether it was Srila Prabhupada or Sri Pranavananda Prabhu giving the lecture. Some of Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's godbrothers, especially Sri Kirtanananda Prabhu, became very suspicious. Who is this person? The independence movement was going on in India, and the British government suspected all gatherings of fomenting rebellion. They would send undercover private detectives from the Central Intelligence Department, the CID agents, to investigate. So, Sri Kirtanananda Prabhu said to Sri Pranavananda Prabhu, "I have never seen anyone listening to every word with undivided attention day after day. You should be very careful with him. I think he's a CID agent." But very soon, everyone realized the sincerity of this devotee. He became extremely dear to Srila Prabhupada. Shortly afterwards, Srila Prabhupada initiated him with great happiness. Later, he named him Sri Ramananda Das Brahmachari. Subsequently, he would become famous all over the Vaishnav world as Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Mahārāja, and would become Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's one of most loved and revered godbrothers. Many other godbrothers came, such as Srila Ban Mahārāja, Srila Bharati Mahārāja, Srila Madhav Mahārāja, and so forth. It's Bhakti Hriday Ban Mahārāja, Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and Srila Bhakti Dai Madhav Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and so forth. Oh, I'm just seeing the chat. 11-year-old resident at the Math. Oh, Haribo, Nitai, and Rasaraj Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Okay. 11-year-old resident at the Math. In 1924, Sri Nandasunu Brahmachari, later Srila Ban Mahārāja, and Sri Pranavananda Prabhu went to visit a householder godbrother by Kunta Babu. He had an 11-year-old son who was greatly attracted to their association, So Sri Pranavananda Prabhu told his godbrother, who happened to be a rich landholder, a doctor, and a good singer, he said, "Your son is very extraordinary. He is spending all his time with us. Doesn't he go out and play like other 11-year-olds?" The father said, "No, from childhood he has been like this. He is deeply attracted to Harikatha." So, yeah. While speaking of his son, he became emotional and started crying. He asked, "Why are you asking about my son? Would you like to take him to the mission?" Sri Pranavananda Prabhu replied, "We would love to have a boy like this in our mission." The father said, "Then so be it. You take him with you." The parents did not deviate from their word. When it was time for the brahmacharis to leave, the parents got their son ready to go with them. Wow, just like that. Referring to this incident, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu said later, "It was very amazing how the parents happily sent their 11-year-old son to live in the mutt. This reminded me of Dhruva's mother, who dressed Dhruva with her own hands and sent him away to the forest to meditate on Krishna." Srila Prabhupada loved this 11-year-old boy, who would later be known first as Sri Radha Raman Brahmachari, and then as Srila Bhakti Kumud Santa Mahārāja. Wow, Jai. This just I think Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he was 9 years old when he left, when he joined the mutt permanently and never went back home. But his parents weren't as willing. They were, okay. Resignation from job. In 1925, Srila Prabhupada arranged his first Gauramandal Parikrama with his disciples. Many hundreds of devotees wanted to join him and go all over the holy places of the Gauramandal. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's heart danced with eagerness. When the traveling party was on its way to Keturi, the birthplace of Srila Narottam Das, and I think the Gauramandal Parikrama, right? When Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj joined, I wonder if it was in 1920. No, it was later on. I think he was a bit older. Anyways, okay, sorry. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's heart danced with eagerness at going to all the places of Gauramandal. So when the traveling party was on its way to Keturi, the birthplace of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, they stopped at a place called Gaura Gari Ghat. At that point, a devotee came from Kolkata to join them. With him, he brought a telegram addressed to Sri Pranavananda Prabhu. It came from his employers telling him, "Your service is no longer required." This did not shock anyone. In fact, it was to be expected. Many times before, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu had wished to resign, but the port commission had refused and had suggested instead that he take a leave of absence. This time also, they would have granted a leave of absence if he had asked for one. So Srila Prabhupada suggested to Sri Pranavananda Prabhu, "You should go back to Kolkata and ask for a leave of absence." Sri Pranavananda Prabhu fell at Srila Prabhupada's feet, saying, "Please, Srila Prabhupada, do not ask me to go to my work again. I cannot pay full attention to my devotional life if I have to work outside. Please allow me to serve you without any more hindrance." Srila Prabhupada smiled. Unexpected opposition. A very unexpected incident took place during the Gauramandal Parikrama of 1925. Everywhere Srila Prabhupada went during the Parikrama, he preached about the pure devotional concept of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Little did the devotees know the degree of opposition and animosity they would face. Hundreds and thousands of devotees assembled at Poramatala, Navadvip, for preaching and Sankirtan. Their lordships, Shri Radha Govinda, were placed on the back of a decorated elephant, and they were guarded by 2 devotees. Sannyasis were giving lectures, and many people assembled to listen to the Harikatha. Unbeknownst to them, Some carriages had been filled with broken bricks and draped with cloth. Some carriages which had been filled with broken bricks and draped with cloth were waiting nearby. Suddenly, some thugs started throwing these broken bricks at the assembled devotees. Sri Sundarananda Vidya Vinod, who was on the elephant, immediately guided it away from the scene to protect their lordships. The devotees first tried to appease the thugs by reasoning with them, but this did not work. Many of the devotees were wounded and began bleeding. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was hit in the head and bled, but fortunately, his wound was not critical. All the devotees tried to look for shelter in the nearby homes, especially for Srila Prabhupada. But all the nearby homeowners had been ordered beforehand not to open their doors. They were also afraid that they too would be attacked by the thugs. Amidst the shock and confusion, somehow Sri Vinod Bihari Brahmachari, later Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, managed to take Srila Prabhupada inside a house. There he exchanged his white clothes with Srila Prabhupada's saffron clothes, so Srila Prabhupada wouldn't be recognized. Then he quickly took Srila Prabhupada to a safer place. Some of those present were completely shocked, and one local resident wrote in the Ananda Bazar Patrika of Kolkata, "I witnessed the reenaction of what Jagai and Madai did to Srila Nityananda Prabhu more than 400 years ago. All over Bengal, many distinguished people protested against this incident in magazines and newspapers. As a result, the chief inspector of police of Navadvip was fired for negligence, and the next year the police department sent 36 police officers to escort the devotees on Parikrama in Navadvip." Wow, a lot of details I've never heard before. There's let me just find it. Kriti Ratna. I'm just looking for because my Pram Gurudev tells the same incident. Where is it though? God, I have all the files when we were working on it, but I don't have the original file. Actually, I think did I post it on the it's a true experience of separation. There it is. I'm just going to read this part from when he tells the story. It's very short. Okay. But that's really heavy that Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Maharaj got hit by a brick. My God, and his head was bleeding. Oops. Okay, let's read this. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, I'm just gonna read this one section. Let me make the text big. Okay, this is from a lecture by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, my Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Maharaj. Love for the Vaishnavas and service to them. Just see what the life of a soldier entails. For a meager monthly stipend that facilitates a bit of fleeting mundane pleasure for his spouse, children, parents, siblings, and friends, he is ready and willing to relinquish his own life. In a moment, he can abandon the love and attachment of his mother, father, and relatives, and is determined to give his life. To what extent do we do that for Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas? The love of sadhus, Guru, and Vaishnavas affords us the wealth of true happiness for all time. Yet we are not prepared to accept even a drop of difficulty for their sake, not to speak of giving up our life for them. Is this the sign of a servant of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas? How magnanimous, how tranquil, how great are the hearts of those who do not hesitate even slightly to relinquish their life for the service of the Vaishnavas. At the moment of truth, we can assess how much love a sevak has for Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. If someone among us were to contract a contagious or infectious disease, we would realize the extent of our love for Vaishnavas. We would not think twice before immediately abandoning that Vaishnav and going as far away as possible for fear of contracting the disease or losing our own life, thus revealing the degree of our attachment to this package of pus, blood, and flesh, which today or after 100 years will certainly perish. We are always saying in discourses, recitations, and kirtan that this body is nothing and this mind is nothing, but in reality, that is all we deem important. If what we say is not matched by what we do, then we are wasting our words and misleading people. And what is the use of that? Adherence to the truth is a preeminent quality of a Vaishnav. We are always saying that we must give our life to the Vaishnavas. We must offer our everything to the Vaishnavas. And whatever we do, we must do for the service of the Vaishnavas. Will all this remain confined in a mere arrangement of words? Once a person stood ready to give his life for the service of the Vaishnavas, and then some heretic hindered him and he fell down. This too we have witnessed. This morning you heard the song, Jaya Re Jai, Parahangsa Mahashai, Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So you must always note the events indicated in the following line. Kuliyate pashandira atyachara koilo jara tasabara dosha kama kori. You forgave the rogues of Kuliya despite the atrocities they committed. I am remembering the incident in Kuliya hinted at in this couplet. It was during Sri Navadip Dham Parikrama. To test his servitor's propensity to serve, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, who was on his way to Champahati with a large group of pilgrims, arrived at Navadvip Kuliya town at Puramatala. That was some 25 years ago. At the time, Srila Prabhupada's preaching of pure Vaishnava Dharma exposed the religious exploitation and corruption of Kuliya's blasphemous hypocrites and provoked their hatred. They came up with a plot and unleashed a horrendous atrocity against him in the Parikrama party at Puramatala. Calamities vanish by the mere will of the Vaishnavas, but the prime purpose for the Acharya's appearance is to reveal the world the glories of Sevya, the served, and Sevak, the servant. Therefore, in the midst of the destructive dance of Kali, Srila Prabhupada hid himself in a liquor merchant's house and examined his Sevak's anguish and attachment in relation to him. In this terrible situation, apart from one or two persons, all of Srila Prabhupada's renowned so-called servants fled for their lives. Thousands of thugs had surrounded the house where Srila Prabhupada had taken refuge. In that moment, one of his servants exchanged garments with Srila Prabhupada, extricated him from the ring of thugs closing in on them, and safely brought him in disguise back to Mayapur. And that person was himself. Perilous circumstances reveal the true nature of a Guru Sevak. Those who are famous in the world as Guru Prishta, dear to Guru, Prabhu Prishta, cherished by Prabhupada, or Acharya Prishta, the Acharya's dearest, who never hesitated to introduce themselves as his exclusively dedicated associates, or who wanted to take pride in being managers of the Mat mission and his primary assistants. They did not show up in that evil hour to display the pinnacle of service to Guru. The Guru Sevak's exclusive duty is to give his life in the service of his Guru. Do not maintain a conception that such pastimes of the Acharya are indicative of his being a mere mortal. Events like this, in fact, serve to reveal his superhuman glory. You may recall hearing of a similar event in the life of Acharya Sri Ramanuja. A Shaiva king became so envious of his effective preaching of Vaishnava Dharma that he tried to kill him. Acharya Sri Ramanuja's devoted and prominent disciple, Acharya Kuresh, then saved his guru's life by disguising Sri Ramanuja in the clothes of a lady. Similarly, Acharya Shankar was once attacked by a Kapalik sect, but Acharya Padmapada protected him. Thus, in every Acharya's pastimes, many kinds of calamities occur, which serve to demonstrate his superhuman nature. And on the other hand, the gradations of sevaks that become evident are lessons for the souls of this world. That is why I say, in such circumstances alone, the true measure of a sevak's inclination to serve is revealed. It's translated from the Sri Gaudiya Patrika. Okay, so continuing on from A Life of Devotion. Oh, Haribol, Kishore Krishna Prabhu. I was wondering where you were. Okay. Yeah, Jai Srila Bhakti Kumud Santa Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Rup Manjari says, I think Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj must have joined in the 1930 Parikrama. Okay, when he was 9 years old. Yeah, that would make sense because he was born in 1921. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, continuing on. Hostility towards Vaishnavism in Bengal. During the time of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, as preached by Sriman Mahaprabhu, was only known to a handful of people. Other than that, it was almost lost in Bengal, to the point that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur faced great difficulty finding Vaishnav scriptures. Then, due to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writing and preaching, many people in Bengal, both educated and uneducated, had an opportunity to get a glimpse of Gaudiya Vaishnavism in its purest form. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur passed on his unfinished mission to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur's preaching was vigorous and extensive, and by dint of his extraordinary charismatic personality, he drew a large crowd wherever he went. Moreover, he had a large number of very educated and qualified disciples to serve his preaching mission. On one hand, they met with some very favorable responses, but on the other hand, they met with great hostility from those who felt threatened. In Bengal in the 1920s, great ignorance still prevailed among the many sections of society about Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Many thought it was a religion of uneducated people who were slightly confused. They thought it was uneducated people who were slightly confused. So they felt some contempt or disrespect toward Vaishnavism. They thought Vaishnavas deserved only to be ignored or insulted. This is because there were 13 upper sampradayas, societies of pseudo Vaishnavas, who distorted Vaishnavism for the purpose of their own sense gratification. Thus, instead of being in the path of pure devotion, they lived in the world of adultery and self-deceit. Fortunately, this created unfortunately, this created an unfavorable image of all Vaishnavas in the minds of the general public. Moreover, the pseudo-Vaishnavas also felt intimidated by Srila Prabhupada's preaching. Srila Prabhupada's concept of Daivi Varnashram attacked the very root of Smarta Brahmanism. So the Smarta Brahmins were hostile to his mission. Since people were still curious about Sriman Mahaprabhu and had some reverence for him, Navadvip was the hub of the commercial exploitation of Sri Dham, the holy place of pilgrimage. Those who profited from this did not appreciate Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's discovery of Sri Mayapur as Sriman Mahaprabhu's actual birthplace. At the same time, Navadvip also became a stronghold of Shaktas, worshippers of Kali, and so who could not understand Vaishnavism. And we see actually Navadvip is still full of Shaktas. In this jungle of confusion, Srila Prabhupada's beacon of light was still more in the guise of a threat of exposure. Srila Prabhupada's beacon of light was seen more in the guise of a threat of exposure than a promise of deliverance. Sorry, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm having a difficult time reading. A Bengali proverb says, "It is darkest under the lamp." A dark veil of ignorance and hostility came between Sriman Mahaprabhu's birthplace, Bengal, and Sriman Mahaprabhu's instruction. But all these threats and attacks did not discourage Srila Prabhupada. He only intensified his preaching efforts in Bengal. By his own words and actions, Srila Prabhupada demonstrated that preaching in Bengal was no less important than preaching anywhere else. In fact, Bengal had the highest priority in his agenda. It is not so hard to understand that Mahaprabhu's worldwide mission must have a stronghold in its place of origin. It would be seen in the next few decades that Srila Prabhupada's disciples never forgot this. They took to heart his examples of grassroots preaching in the small towns and villages of Bengal. Death of Sister and Hari Katha. After coming back from Gauramandal Parikrama, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu worked full-time at the Math. Shortly afterwards, his brother, Nani Gopal, who was renting a house in Howrah Shivapur, asked him to come to see their younger sister in Pevli, who was ill and was staying with him along with their mother. He went to see her. Strangely enough, his sister asked to see the cremation ghat of Shivpur, and a few days after that, she died. Right after that, Ram Rangini Devi fell in the bathroom and lost consciousness. It seemed as if she had died. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu kept his mother's body on his lap and began speaking Hari Katha. The Hari Katha which came from his grieving heart entranced everyone present, and soon the porch outside the room was filled with people who seemed to be mesmerized by it. Presently, Ram Rangini Devi started moving again. Everyone was relieved to see that she had not died, but Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's sister, Bevli, had been very fond of him, and her untimely death saddened him deeply. Gaudiya and Nadia Prakash. Srila Prabhupada considered printing books and magazines to be one of the greatest tools for preaching in this age. He called the printing press the Brihad Mridanga, the big drum, because the mridanga used in Sankirtan can be heard only with a short distance. Because the mridanga used in Sankirtan could be heard only within a short distance, whereas the printing press can propagate the preaching message all over the world. So the big drum, Brihad Mridanga. My very good friend Srivas has a website called bigdrum.us, and he's always posting all sorts of really neat things that he translates from Gaudiya magazines, Gaudiya Patrikas, and all different places. So if anybody wants to check that out, you can get all these original Big Drum articles. We can finally see them in English. Anyways, whatever. On August 19th, 1922, the first issue of his devotional weekly, the Gaudiya, was published. The first editors were Sri Atul Chandra Bandyopadhyay, Bhakti Saranga, and Pandit Sri Haripada Vidyaratna, M.A., B.L. The magazine's second year, Sri Yukta Sundarananda Vidya Vinod, B.A., was appointed assistant editor, and after some time, he became the editor-in-chief. In 1926, Srila Prabhupada wished to publish a devotional newspaper, so the first Nadia Prakash, which means manifesting Nadia, was published on October 2nd, 1926 by Sri Bhagavat Press, Krishnanagar, Nadia. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was one of the two editors. Isn't that amazing though? It's a daily newspaper. Every single day they had to have a whole magazine, and it was at that time, it wasn't like just now you just type something up on a computer and then you hit print and it starts printing like that. At that time, they had to, they were writing everything by hands. They had to typeset it, and then they had to print it manually by hand. Yeah, and every single day without fail, no break. And Sri Pranavananda Brahmachari was one of the main two editors who was responsible for this magazine. So he was one of the two editors, and the other was Pandit Sri Yukta Chandicharan Mukhopadhyay. This newspaper was published in both English and Bengali. The following year, Srila Prabhupada turned it into a daily newspaper. Okay, the following year is a daily newspaper, the Dainik Nadia Prakash. And when I was at the Bhaktivedanta Research Center, I was looking through a lot of these Dainik Nadia Prakashas, and it was very interesting. The first page was always news of what was happening somewhere in the world or in India. It was like a normal newspaper. And then the page after that would be all like Gaudiya Math preaching activities, Harikatha, lots of different, like, it would be all Harikatha. But the front page would always be the world news. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was the editor of this newspaper for 4 years. But his family name, Sri Pramod Bhushan Chakravarti, was used here instead of his spiritual name to make the newspaper more appealing to the general public. At that time, a graduate of medical school took initiation from Srila Prabhupada and received the name Sri Krishnakanti Brahmachari. Later, Srila Bhakti Kusum Shaman Mahārāja. Srila Prabhupada asked him, I'm just seeing the... Kishore Krishna said that one person asked Prabhupada, but aren't you going to run out of ideas? And Srila Prabhupada said how the spiritual world is infinite. Yeah, I think I heard with that story, I mean, I heard this a long time ago, I'm not sure if I get the details right, but he said that this Vaikuntha Varta is the ever fresh news. It's amazing how people have things constantly to say about this mundane news, which is always temporary. This Vaikuntha Varta is ever fresh and unlimited. So how can we run out of things to say? Something like that. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada asked him to select contemporary news items to be printed in the newspaper. So Sri Krishna Kanti Brahmachari assisted Sri Pranavananda Prabhu in this way. Every day, early in the morning, devotees went by train to different towns of Bengal with fresh issues of Nadia Prakash and sold them to the general public. This was the first spiritual daily newspaper in the history of Bengal. After 4 years, Srila Prabhupada wanted Sri Pranavananda Prabhu to work as one of the editors of the Gaudiya magazine. That was the weekly magazine. Oh, and there's a museum in Kolkata, and they have the printing press. I actually made videos and took pictures of it. I could probably find it if you want to see it. But you can see the printing press that they used. It's probably here in photos. That was a while ago, though. So many photos. Anyways, we can look later. Oh my God, I have so many things. Yeah, we'll look later. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Math in Mayapur. All this time, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was living in the Chaitanya Gaudiya Math in Mayapur. Mayapur was a beautiful little village at that time, with wide open paddy fields all around it. There were a few devotees living in the Chaitanya Math, serving their lordships, Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari. Srila Prabhupada also called their lordships Radha Vinod Pran. Interesting. Never heard that. Radha Vinod Pran. He used to go back and forth to Kolkata. Two of Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's godbrothers staying in Mayapur were Narahari Prabhu and Vinod Prabhu, later Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And Narahari Prabhu, he had the title Seva Vigraha. Narahari Prabhu Seva Vigraha. If someone was bringing something heavy from Kolkata, he had to get it off at Sarupganj, that's Godrum, and cross the river to come to Mayapur. There was no paved road to the Math. Devotees had to carry things on their heads and work their way through the paddy fields, walking on the narrow alpath, that's the ridges separating the paddies. Many times, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu would carry things to the Math in this way. His affectionate godbrothers would jokingly say, "Here comes the editor of Nadia Prakash," carrying things on his head. As far as the eye could see, there were paddy fields, trees, and thatched roof cottages on both sides of the Ganga. Somehow the devotees managed to go on with their devotional service and preaching programs in that village atmosphere, without electricity, paved roads, wheeled transportation, etc. People would still come from all directions, including Kolkata, to hear Harikatha from Srila Prabhupada. His personality was magnetic, and his Harikatha was unforgettable. When he would leave for Kolkata, although Mayapur would become a quiet place again, devotees would go on with their daily activities as usual. But when the monsoon came, it would be hard to stay in contact with the outside world. The coming of the monsoon to the wide open landscape of Bengali villages was beautiful and spectacular. The black monsoon clouds would fill the sky above the miles and miles of paddy fields and the thick forests at their edge. An unusual calm would descend. Even the birds and the animals would be still, waiting. Then the rain would come, first in droplets, slowly turning into torrential outpouring, accompanied by thunder and lightning. A few hours' rain would bring a few feet of water. Yeah, monsoon here is no joke. A real editor. During one such downpour, the roof of a little cottage adjacent to Sri Chaitanya Mat, called Ashram Kuti, was blown away. I'm just looking at the comments. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the roof of the cottage was blown away. In the morning, Srila Prabhupada was walking up and down the terrace of the temple, inspecting the condition of the premises after the previous night's storm, and Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was at his side. Suddenly, Srila Prabhupada started talking about the magazine. He said to Sri Pranavananda Prabhu, now you have to become a real editor. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu smilingly said, Prabhupada, I do not even know the meaning of the word editor. Srila Prabhupada said, No, you cannot say that. You have to write your own articles in the Gaudiya. So Sri Pranavananda Prabhu wrote his first article, Manushya Jivaner Kartavya, the goals of human life. Srila Prabhupada was very pleased to see this article. He told all his other disciples, you should all read Pranavananda's article. See what a nice article it is. Later, when someone reminded Sri Pranavananda Prabhu of this incident, he said with his usual humility, Srila Prabhupada just wanted to encourage me because I was a new writer. In the Gaudiya magazine, I have a book called Gaudiya Prabandhavali, and it has all the articles printed in the Gaudiya during Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's time. But at that time, they wouldn't publish their names with the articles. They would just leave their names out. So it's difficult to see who wrote which article. Actually, it's almost impossible to see unless, like Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, he was also serving at the printing press. He knew which articles were by Srila Bhakti Brigyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And so then they made a book called Srila Bhakti Brigyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Prabandhavali. And so we know which articles he wrote for the Gaudiya, but otherwise, yeah. But now we know one, Manusha Jivaner Kartavya. I can find it in that book. I'll look at later on. Okay, departure of father. Chakravarti Moshai wrote to Sri Pranavananda Prabhu long letters quite regularly. He was very attached to his son, whom he was missing deeply. Sri Chakravarti Mahashai had a great literary flair, and his letters were emotional and touching. He also wrote to Srila Prabhupada, who would sometimes say, the letters from Pranavananda Prabhu's father brings tears to even our eyes. Hearing this, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu felt both sad and joyful. He felt sad because of his father's feelings, and he felt joyful that Srila Prabhupada cared about him so much. But in his heart, he was fixed in his total dedication to his Gurudev's mission. In 1928, while Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was in Sri Chaitanya Mat, his father came to visit him. Being very busy with his service, he didn't have much time to spend with his father. Srila Prabhupada was always very warm, affectionate, and respectful to his disciples' family members. When he noticed that Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was very busy with his service, he spent even more time with Chakravarti Moshai. Before Chakravarti Moshai left, he said to Sri Pranavananda Prabhu, "Your Gurudev took very good care of me. There is no doubt about that. But you are my eldest son. You did not spend enough time with me. I do not expect anything from you, but you should come and see your mother sometime. Otherwise, she will drown herself in the river." A few months after this, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu received a letter from Kuro Moshai informing him of his father's death. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu cried, but went on with his service. Visit from bereaved mother. What time is it? It's 8:19. Okay, just check. Shortly afterwards, Ram Rangini Devi came to Sri Chaitanya Mat to see him, along with his cousin sister, whom he called Bardi. Bordi entered the mat first. Bordi entered the mat first, looking for Sri Pranavananda Prabhu. There were 2 rooms adjacent to the temple, and he used to stay in one of them. Bordi, am I pronouncing it okay, Rukmini? Bordi found him there. Hanging over his head was his mosquito net. She started chastising Sri Pranavananda Prabhu. She said, "What kind of sadhu are you? You even have a bed with a mosquito net? And your father died thinking of you, and here you are trying to be a sadhu while sleeping on a bed with a mosquito net." Apparently, she did not understand why. Mosquito net's very opulent, isn't it, huh? Apparently, she did not understand that Vaishnavas follow the path of Yukta Vairagya. They do not undergo meaningless austerity, but they use everything in Krishna's service. There'd be no point in sleeping on the ground and catching pneumonia, or sleeping without a mosquito net and catching malaria. But Sri Pranavananda Prabhu kept quiet and didn't respond to this criticism. He thought in his mind, Bordi used to carry me around when I was a little child. She can say anything she likes. I do not mind. Then Ram Rangini came. When she saw Sri Pranavananda Prabhu, she could not say anything, and she started crying. Seeing that, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was also overwhelmed with emotion. Before his mother left, she said to him again, "I do not expect anything from you, but please come and see me before I die." But Bordi told him his family's poverty. At this time, his younger brother, Nani Gopal, did not have a job, and the family was going through extreme financial hardship. Srila Prabhupada's concern. Back in Kolkata, somehow Srila Prabhupada also heard about the plight of Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's family. He called Sri Pranavananda Prabhu to him and told him, "Please take some money from the press and send it to your family." Hearing this, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was overwhelmed with emotion. He said, Prabhupada, your affection for me is endless, but please do not ask me to take any money from the mat to send to my family. Please allow me to have a part-time job outside so I can send them money. I will do the same amount of service that I am doing now. I will not allow my service to be hampered in any way. But please, Prabhupada, I beg you, do not ask me to take any money from the press. Srila Prabhupada said very affectionately, but very reluctantly, "Then do what you want to do." It was clear from the tone of his voice that it was not his desire, since Sri Pranavananda Prabhu would have to work harder now, but nevertheless, he agreed. Wow. See how different times are now. Anyways, never mind. A title awarded by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu was always very fond of reading and writing. Srila Prabhupada noticed Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's deep attachment for scripture. This was one of the reasons he kept him in the editorial department, and the other reason being his mastery of Bengali and Sanskrit. Srila Prabhupada encouraged Sri Pranavananda Prabhu to have an excellent grasp of Vaishnav scripture. Recognizing his literary talent and his knowledge of scripture, Srila Prabhupada awarded him the title Pratna Vidyalankar, one who is bejeweled by knowledge of ancient scriptures. Nadia Prakash editor, glorified. It's 8:24. We have 6 more minutes. I'm just seeing how much is left. Okay, we might have to finish. Yeah, because this goes on for quite some more time. So anyways, we'll finish soon after 8:30. Okay. Okay, so Nadia Prakash, editor, glorified. On March 26, 1929, the 35th meeting of the Sri Navadip Dham Pracharini Sabha, the Association for Broadcasting the Glories of Sri Sri Navadip Dham, was held at Sri Yogapit, Sri Dham Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada presided. The following excerpt from a speech delivered at that meeting was published in the 7th volume, 1929, of the Gaudiya magazine, 24th issue. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, I want to tell the audience about a jewel. This jewel is called Pratna Vidyalankar Pandit Shripad Pramod Bhushan Chakravarti. He is the highly qualified editor of the only representative magazine of Sri Dham Navadip, the message carrier of Vaikunta, Dainik Nadia Prakash. Those who are experienced in this matter know what a responsible and demanding position it is to edit a daily paper. But Pratna Vidyalankar Prabhu has taken the whole responsibility on his own head and is demonstrating an extraordinary tireless example of service. He is not a salaried editor, nor is he an insincere, unscrupulous person who writes one thing on paper and does another thing. His scholarship is not applied only to advise others. He is a scholar whose consciousness is illuminated by scripture, who practices what he preaches, who has given up sense enjoyments to serve Krishna, and who is a Mahapurush Bhagavat, a Vaishnav of the highest order, whose renunciation is exemplary. What he hears from his Gurudev, he transcribes in his writing and follows in his personal life in every way. Wow, what a glorification. And this is all, and I've seen some of these, like I saw the one from my Param Gurudev, from the Navadip Dham Pracharini Sabha, and this is all written in Sanskrit verses. So I'm pretty sure this was also written in, like, these are all Sanskrit verses about that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote about Pranavananda Prabhu. Then there's a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 22:135. It says, Kamatyaji Krishna bhaje shastra agyamani devarishi pitradikir kabhuna herini. One who, having given up sense desire, worships Krishna according to the injunctions of scripture, is never indebted to the demigods, sages, or forefathers. Pratna Vidyalankar Prabhu has demonstrated the ideal of this scriptural injunction. In my personal life, I am indebted to him in many ways. I am always charmed by his examples of sacrifice, renunciation, and service to Gurudev. Amazing, huh? Okay, I think I'll read this section and then we can, or maybe let's read these next 2 sections. Yeah, and then we'll stop for today. Yogapit temple built. In 1930, the Yogapit temple in Sri Mayapur was being built with the financial contribution of one of Srila Prabhupada's wealthy disciples, Sri Yukta Sakhi Charan Rai Bhakti Vijay. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu happened to be in Mayapur while the foundation was being dug. At 10 o'clock in the morning, on the 13th of June, during the excavation of the foundation, a four-armed deity of Vishnu manifested himself. An ecstatic uproar arose from the devotees present there. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu also came to see his lordship. He recalls that the deity was bathed with the water of the Radhakund in Mayapur and was taken to Kolkata to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said that this was the deity of Adhokshaj, worshipped by Sri Jagannath Mishra. Explaining the name Adhokshaj, Srila Prabhupada said, Godhead is he who has reserved the right of not being exposed to human senses. The famous archaeologist Dr. Ram Prasad Chanda ascertains that the deity was quite ancient. Sri Jagabandhu Bhakti Ranjan. About 2 years previously, in order to preach Mahaprabhu's message more vigorously, Srila Prabhupada had wanted to have a piece of land in Kolkata where the Gaudiya Math's own temple and residence for devotees could be built. He had expressed this desire to his disciples. At that time, one gentleman called Sri Jagabandhu Datta, who had heard of Srila Prabhupada from his disciples, started coming to see him. Even though he was a rich and successful man, at that time he was being overwhelmed by physical and emotional difficulties. He wanted some relief from his material miseries, and he came to visit Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was very merciful to him and spent many hours with him, speaking Harikatha and explaining many things. Jagabandhu Datta was extremely impressed by Srila Prabhupada's explanations. He began to have a very clear concept of Sriman Mahaprabhu's message of pure devotion. He said of Srila Prabhupada, "What I have heard from him, I have not heard from anyone else." He kept coming to see Srila Prabhupada regularly and felt relieved of his physical and emotional problems. Soon after that, he took initiation from Srila Prabhupada, receiving the name Jagabandhu Bhakti Ranjan, and begged him for some service. Okay, actually, if you guys don't mind, I know it's 8:30 right now, but just to complete this topic, I'm going to just read this section. It'll take a minute. Bagh Bazar Mat. Shri Bhakti Ranjan Prabhu had no children to inherit his wealth, so Srila Prabhupada asked him to help build a mat in order to preach Sriman Mahaprabhu's message, to which he happily agreed. Within a short time, he bought a piece of land on Bagh Bazar Street in Kolkata. On Vaman Dwadashi of 1928, Srila Prabhupada, that's an interesting day, Vaman Dwadashi. Srila Prabhupada begged many steps of land, and he got it. On Vaman Dwadashi of 1928, Srila Prabhupada himself laid the cornerstone of that temple. Sri Bhakti Ranjan Prabhu supervised the construction of the temple. The service of building this mat became his life and soul. Within 2 years, a beautiful marble temple was built, along with a lecture hall, devotee quarters, etc. Moved to Bagh Bazar Temple. In 1930, Sri Gaudiya Math was transferred to the new site. Their lordships, Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari, were taken on chariots in a big procession all the way from Ultadingi Junction Road to the new Bagh Bazar Temple. There's a picture of that. I've seen a picture of that. Yeah. I wonder if I can, anyways, maybe afterwards we can look for the picture. A large crowd followed the procession. It was a major event in Kolkata. It seemed that no one went to work that day. Everyone joined the Sankirtan procession. This was one of the most joyful and memorable processions that ever took place in Kolkata. So many people came to the Gaudiya Math that day that as people went up the stairs, the iron banister was bent by the pressure of the crowd. There were great festivities following the deity installation, Arati, Harikatha, and Prasad. So that was one temple, but tomorrow we'll continue on with the temple within the books. That's the main temple, more important than, and yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, just a little bit left over, but I don't want to, I'm happy to finish this chapter, but I don't want to keep anybody waiting, like going overtime. So, well, actually, why don't I ask you? There's just a few more pages. It means it would take like maybe 5 more minutes to finish reading. Should I finish a chapter or should we read it tomorrow? I'll do whatever you tell me, whatever anybody tells me. So let me look. And Vidyalala Sadidi saying, can I please share a copy of the book in the group? Yes, for sure. I'll share it. Does anyone know where the Didi of the hooks are just now? What's Satya Mataji? Yes?
Keep going.
Okay, keep going. I'm going. Cool. I was hoping somebody's going to say that. Okay. I don't like to go overtime, so but I want to be respectful of people's time. But yes, let's finish. We're nearly at the end. Okay. Oops, I lost my place now. Okay, move to Bhagavad. Okay. The temple within the books. Srila Prabhupada in his Harikatha that day said, just as this great external mansion, the Gaudiya Math, has been built, similarly, to establish the internal Hari Bhajan in this world, quite a few books have to be written and published. The temple which is within the books and the temple which is within the devotees are more important than the temple built with bricks and stones, because by constructing such temples, Harikatha can be preached in this world much longer. Oh God, I read that really terrible. Let me reread that. The temple which is within the books and the temple which is in the heart of the devotees are more important than the temple built with bricks and stones, because by constructing such temples, Harikatha can be preached in this world much longer. Now we have only procured a seat for Harikatha. We have built a castle to preach about the Lord by spending someone's entire savings of a lifetime. But we have to protect ourselves in this castle from the association of materialistic people. We have to defend ourselves from the confusion of this age of Kali, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So we have to publish and distribute many more books. Only if we can construct the temple in the form of books and in the form of ideal lives can the idea of devotional service remain permanently in this world. As Sri Pranavananda Prabhu listened intently, he noted his Gurudev's emphasis on book publishing and the purity of character, which is the basis of an ideal lifestyle. He knew that the publishing of books and magazines was considered by his Gurudev to be the greatest preaching tool, and he was eager to dedicate his life to furthering this goal. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu also never forgot his Gurudev's emphasis on purity of character and maintaining a high standard of conduct. Working for Gaudiya. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu's great joy was working for the Gaudiya magazine. In his heart, he knew how dear this magazine was to Srila Prabhupada and how important its role was in their preaching mission. Sundarananda Prabhu was the editor-in-chief. He was a householder and was a very competent editor. But he had to maintain his family and could not find a job in Kolkata. So when he was offered a job in Dhaka, he had to go there. While he was in Dhaka, his father died in Kolkata. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu took care of his father's funeral and made the necessary arrangements. Every week, Sundarananda Prabhu used to send 2 articles for the Gaudiya magazine. He was a great writer, and Srila Prabhupada was very fond of his writing style. At that time, Sri Dinesh Chandra Sen was a famous professor of Bengali literature at the University of Kolkata and the writer of quite a few widely read books. One of his most famous books was Ramayani Katha, Topics of the Ramayana, a textbook used in high school and college literature courses. Sundarananda Prabhu wrote an article criticizing some of the concepts that Dinesh Chandra Sen had presented in one of his books. When Dinesh Chandra Sen saw that article, he was so impressed by Sundarananda Prabhu's writing that he sent him a letter of praise. Wow, that takes quite an amazing amount of humility. To receive such a letter from Dinesh Chandra Sen would be a great honor for any writer, and that letter was kept in the Gaudiya Math. Apart from writing his own articles, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu would proofread and edit all the articles for the Gaudiya magazine. Srila Prabhupada was very fastidious? It was very fastidious about the style of the presentation and the correctness of writing. So Sri Pranavananda Prabhu would be extremely careful about the proofreading and editing,
and would frequently stay up almost all night. Srila Prabhupada knew this, and he had great trust in Sri Pranavananda Prabhu. The other person whose judgment he trusted was Ananta Vasudeva Prabhu. So sometimes he would ask Sri Pranavananda Prabhu to consult him as well. Sometimes Sundarananda Prabhu would become a little bit outspoken and say things that might infuriate or discourage the general public. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu considered these points and brought them to the attention of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, appreciating this, would say, "Yes, these things are not meant for the general public." The Gaudiya Math press was busy day and night and day, and so was Sri Pranavananda Prabhu. He could be seen going in and out of Srila Prabhupada's room at all times of the day. Thus, he got constant and intimate association with Srila Prabhupada for many years. He himself lived downstairs in a room next to the press, while Srila Prabhupada's room was upstairs, facing the left staircase. And you can, taking notes. Whenever Srila Prabhupada gave lectures, Sri Pranavananda Prabhu would take extensive notes. Later, from these notes, full-fledged articles would be written and published. Srila Prabhupada was not even always available to give dictation. One day, in the temple room of Sri Chaitanya Math, Srila Prabhupada was shooing the pigeons away. Sri Pranavananda Prabhu appeared there to make good use of Srila Prabhupada's time. Srila Prabhupada understood this, and he said, "I know you are working very hard and taking great trouble upon yourself. But what can I do? You cannot have me at any time you like. You have to write when I can dictate." So, as Srila Prabhupada walked up and down shooing the pigeons, he gave dictation, and Sri Pranavananda Prabhu took notes. Amazing. All right, so that was the end of chapter 2. And tomorrow on the divine 125th Vyas Puja of Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, we will read chapter 3, service to, what is it called? The service of to Sri Guru, I think, right? Yeah. Oops, one second. Yeah, service of Sri Guru. He says, "All difficulties in our service were made worthwhile 1,000,000 times over when we could see the signs of pleasure on the affectionate lotus face of Srila Prabhupada." So we will read that chapter tomorrow. And also this evening, I didn't have time yesterday to make a nice recording of that article that I was mentioning yesterday, Guru Seva by Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. So I'm going to just, since I'm really busy right now, actually, is where we have all these publication projects coming up, especially the songbook and Gauraparnadrish Tipika. So I am going to, this evening, I will just do a live reading of that article, Guru Seva. I don't know what time I should read in the evening. Maybe around 6 p.m. No, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. India time. I'll do a live reading on the Vine of Devotion YouTube channel, because I haven't posted there in a while. So I'm going to do it on the Vine of Devotion YouTube channel. If anybody wants to come for that, come back at 5 p.m. India time. Otherwise, you can watch the replay later on. And then tomorrow we will continue this book. And I'm enjoying, this book is so nice. I'm thinking of just reading the whole thing. I don't know though, that will be quite a few days of reading. Anyways, we'll figure that out. I'm gonna ask everybody in the comments, in the Chaitanya Bhagavat group, what they want, and then we'll see what the majority. I'll do a poll. So, all right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Thank you everybody for letting me go so far over time. I won't do that tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a short. Today I ended up reading extra things, so that's why I went longer. Like I read that part from Param Gurudev's lecture, but tomorrow the reading will also be, I think it's 7,000 words. I think today we read like 9,000, so we'll be able to finish more on time. So thank you so much. And one second, I'm just looking very quickly at the comments. Kristen Luna, I think to continue reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, but read this book one day per week, like on Mondays. That's an interesting idea. Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. All right. So I'm maybe if anybody has to go, thank you so much for joining. I see there are so many devotees on YouTube and Facebook, and also here on Zoom. And Dandavat Pranams, everybody. So yeah, feel free to go if you want to go now. Otherwise, yeah, you could stay for the Jai Dwani. Kishore, could you lead us in the Jai Dwani, the Prem Dwani?
जय सब्रिकार शेषे गुरु गौरंग गणहरि विगा गिरिधरि गोपीनाथ राधा विनोद बिहारी राध नायनाथ राधा रमन बिहारी राध माधव शिशि महापुरु राध गोपीनाथ जी की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्टम विष्णु पार परमहंस प्रिय ब्रजचार्य वर्य अष्टोत्तरश्त शिष्यमान भक्ति विज्ञान शील भारती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्टम विष्णु पार परमहंस प्रिय ब्रजचार्य वर्य अष्टोत्तरश्त शिष्यमान भक्ति प्रांत शील नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज परिपावन गुरुदेव की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्णम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान भक्ति बल तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्णम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान भक्ति विरांद शैल त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्णम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान भक्ति विरांद शैल वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्णम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान ऐसी भक्ति विरांद स्वामी गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्णम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान भक्ति द्वैत माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्णम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज परम गुरुदेव चारकेश्वरी की जय। जय जगत गुरु नित्य लील प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान महामहोपदेशक प्रत्न विद्य अलंकर पंडित शिष्यमान भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाशय की जय। शिष्यमान भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय श्री भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी ठाकुर की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिष्यमान जगद्गुरु श्री वृषभान अभिद्वैत दास श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। सप्रकाश शील प्रभुपाद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार महापरम भगवत प्रभार परमहंस शिशुमार गौर किशोर दास पवशी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद सप्तम गोस्वामी स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमाद सचिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय। जय नित्य लील प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वभौम अष्टोत्रस्त शिशुमाद जगन्नाथ पवशी महाराज की जय। सूर्य कुंदवासी सिद्ध शिल मधुसूदन दास पवशी महाराज की जय। जय गुहे श्री उदयदास उदरान दास की जय। प्रविधान आचार्य शिशुमान बलदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। महामहोपध्याय कृष्ण मणि शील विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पार की जय। शील रसिकानंद मुरारी प्रभु की जय। शील रामचंद्र कविराज की जय। शीलोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री नरहरि शंकर ठाकुर की जय। शील नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्राय की जय। शील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। यश अवतार अर्का विशल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री अष्ट कविराज वसुर जानव नित्यानंद तुरस गोपाल श्री चौषति महंत की जय। जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट रास रघुनाथ शर गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर यनमानंद लोकनाथ गर्भ अदि गौर परिसार वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासुरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शिल ईश्वर पुरी गोस्वामी पार की जय। शिल मारविंद्र पुरी गोस्वामी पार की जय। श्री अंतर्द्वीप मायापुर सिमनदीप गोद्रुमदीप मध्यदीप कोलुदीप ऋतुदीप जानुदीप मातृद्वादीप रुद्रादीप मात्मका श्री नावदीप धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। श्री गौर चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री श्री गौर गदाधर की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ गोपी गोप गो गिरि गोवर्धन षट्वनात्माक श्री ब्रजमंडल धाम की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंग सखी आमन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री ललिता विशाख चित्र चंपकलत तुंग विद्य इंदुले करंगरे विसुदेवी हरि सख्य वृंद की जय। श्री आनंग प्रेम मंजलाल श्री रूपल मंगराग विलस गुणरति कस्तूरी कमल नयन मणि अरि मंजारी वृंद की जय। श्री विनोद मंजरी की जय। श्री पलश मंजरी की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भगवती पूर्णमासी युगमाय देवी की जय। श्री कपीश्वर सर शिव महादेव की जय। राधापन कित धाम श्री वृंदावन की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमार्जु की जय। श्री तत्त गोपीनाथ की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय। सर्वा विक्रामिर शंकरी भक्त विक्रामिनाश श्री इंद्र सिंह देव की जय। तराश भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री प्रहलाद लक्ष्मीन्द्र सिंह देव की जय। श्री चरिधाम चरि संप्रदाय चर्याचार्य की जय। श्री मध्वार मनोज विष्णु स्वामी नंबदित्याचार्य की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। आकर मथुरा श्री चैतन्य मार की जय। श्री गोपीनाथ गौरी मार की जय। श्री गौरी मार वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमान भगवताम भगवद गीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भगवत जैव धर्म हरि सर्व गौरी वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल धन्य कलयुग तर्क ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे महामंत्र की जय। श्री आनंद करे वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समगत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति विलास तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। शिल भक्ति प्रदीप तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति विवेक भारती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति विलास भारती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति सर्वस्व गिरि गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति हृदय भवन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति प्रकाश अरण्य गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति गौर वैकानस गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति विचार जयावर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति शरंग गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति विरान स्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद कृष्णदास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति कुमार चंद्र गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति कुमार मधुसूदन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति सौर भक्ति सार गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति शिरूप सिद्धांत गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति अलोक परमहंस गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति वैभाव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद भक्ति कुमार चंद्र गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमाद नरहरि सेव विग्रह प्रभु की जय। श्रीमाद कृष्ण केशवदास ब्रह्मचारी प्रभु की जय। श्रीमाद जगत बंधु भक्ति रंजन प्रभु की जय। श्रीमाद मदन मोहन दास अधिकारी प्रभु की जय। जय जगत गुरु नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट विष्णु पार स्त्रोत्र श्री श्रीमाद महामहोपदेश प्रत्यवित्यलंकर पंडित श्रीमाद भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। The life of devotion, the holy biography of Om Vishnupad Shishmad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Shri Devamayī Mātājī ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bho.
Jai Ho! Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavasacha Krishna Bhakti Pratadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this program that went way later than we usually read. Thank you for staying till the end, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Oh, Haribol, Dad. My father's watching from New Braj. Haribol. And Haribol Rukmini Didi and everybody else. I'm not going to say everybody's name because there's too many people, but see you all tomorrow for the very special day, the 120th Vyas Puja Maha Mahotsav of Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. See you all for that great celebration. And also, again, if anybody wants to join, I am going to be reading at 5 p.m. India time this article by Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja entitled Guru Seva. It's a very important article, very heavy, sobering, strong, but beautiful, heart-melting, just an amazing article. So I'm going to read that at 5 p.m. And I'll probably send it out. Maybe I should send it out on the Vine of Devotion mailing list also. I'll do that. If anybody wants to read. All right, Hare Krishna, everybody. Ending the video now. Here we go.